Hello, dear ones, and greetings from the Center for Contemporary Mysticism. My name is Joe Irwin, and it's a joy to gather with you again to explore this amazing journey that we share. Today, we're honored to welcome Ghassan Manasra. Ghassan is an ordained Sheikh in the Contemporary Sufi order. He's also the international director of the Abrahamic Reunion, whose mission it is to build a sustainable peace throughout the Middle East and the Holy Land. As a mystic, Sheikh Ghassan sees unity of all things in the way he approaches his life and his work, and he's demonstrated that over the past 38 years, working internationally to build interfaith relationships and peace in the Holy Land and around the world. Sheikh Ghassan also was given the Outstanding Leader in Interfaith Religious Dialogue Award at Temple University and has recently led some prayer vigils for interfaith peace in the Middle East. So welcome, Ghassan. It is our honor, and we're so grateful you've taken time to be with us today.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Wonderful. We also, as we get started, welcome back our regular interviewer, Patricia Pierce. As most of you know, she's an author, a former pastor, a spiritual teacher, and a host of the We Awakening podcast. She also leads companion groups for those participating in Global Awakening. And lastly, we take a moment to welcome you, everyone who's joining us today live or who's watching this later on YouTube. If you're new to the center, be sure to visit our website. It's simply contemporarymysticism.org, where you'll find hundreds of resources, videos of past speakers and programs, groups in which you can participate, like a spiritual sharing circle, a spiritual readers group, weekly meditation, and so forth. So check that out. And remember, our goal is to be a partner with you. And so we invite you to get involved. And if you like what we're doing, get involved, volunteer, join, support in whatever way you see fit to help us continue this work. And the last thing is we will have a Q&A after the interview. So during our interview, if you have a question or a thought you would like to share and ask Ghassan or Patricia, make a note of it, and when we get to the Q&A, you can click raise your hand, and we'll bring you on to ask a question or share your thoughts about our topic today. So now, without further ado, Patricia and Ghassan, I'll turn it over to you, and I'll be back in a bit for our Q&A.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Ghassan, for being here today. I've been looking forward to speaking with you because, you know, we all know that what's happening right now in Israel-Palestine is quite heartbreaking. And you have spent many years working for peace in that part of the world. You yourself are from Nazareth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. And are of the Sufi tradition. And to sort of open us into this topic about lasting peace and the role of spirituality in that, could you share with us how your Sufi beliefs and those spiritual experiences from the Sufi tradition have informed the work that you do for peace?
Thank you so much, Patricia and Joe, and thank you for all the people with us today. It's my pleasure, really, to be with you and to share with you part of our work, part of our backgrounds, part of our who we are. Yes, Sufism, it's part of the peace of, or the process of peace since the beginning until the end. It's a kind of spiritual life teaching you how to be a peacemaker since you were born and through all of the stations in your life. It's to make you neutral person and to support the humanity, to support each person all around the world. The most important thing in we can say in Sufism that it's makes you part of each person all around the world without any difference or from any kind. Like, come to say, there's no differentiation of language, color, nationality, or religion, or anything. You need to be one of all of this world, all of these people all around the world, and to feel all of their feelings, for to create more connection, understanding, knowing, and then the peace, the real peace, to be between all of the people.
Mhm.
Yep.
And how did, so that was very much a part of your upbringing, your spiritual practice, and Sufism is, as I understand it, it's a mystical strain within Islam, and really about inner self purification, and also in your case, that inner peacemaking is expressing itself outwardly in working with people. And in Israel Palestine, you helped found, or maybe did found, Abrahamic Reunion. Can you tell us about that organization and what the purpose, the mission is?
Okay. Yes, it's a very important organization. It's a very important group of people all around the world, working to bring peace in the Holy Land, and all around the world, not only on the Holy Land, but especially, in the Holy Land, because we understand the situation there between the Palestinians and the Israelis along the history. This is a very important organization. It's organized about 25 years ago. The initiators of this organization, David Less and others, I came after a little bit, and I was part of that organization in the Holy Land, and it's work to bring the people to be together. It's very important, because we try to find the people and to teach them, or to study together, how to remember who we are, to whom we belong, and what is the connection between all of us. The problem that we belong to the same family, to Abraham, and then the name is Abrahamic Reunion, to come to be together. And since that time, we have lots of projects that we initiated there, and we are working all the time in the Holy Land to stop the war, not only peacemaking or other groups, or other projects, but today to stop the war and to heal the trauma there in the Holy Land.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it seems that trauma is a huge factor in the whole environment there, and was before this, but it's really intensifying. And how is your organization working to help heal the trauma?
Okay. First of all, we until the war, until the October the 7th, we had lots of projects there. The project of the youth, and the project of the women, the project of the clergy, the project of the educators, because we try to find the leadership in everywhere, in every side in our life. And we thought these well, for example, the future, there will be the future, the children, there will be the youth, there will be the future children, and the women, they are the real children, the real peacemakers of our life. Then we say, and the clergy, we say we need to work to bring the people. It's very important to understand one another, to know one another, to begin to explore the common things, the common work together in the Holy Land. We are living together, Arabs and Jews. Arabs, it's mean Christians, Muslims, and Druze, and the Jews from the other side, and we don't know one another. How it can be? We need to know, to understand one another, because this is our land, and almost we belong to the same niche. Even the three monotheistic religions, it's so close. Then come to know. Then we created these projects, and we began to succeed, and we succeeded a lot inside the educational ministry, inside the regular life, inside the political a little bit, not so much, life inside the cultural life, but also we used to try to take care for the trauma there in the Holy Land, because the trauma is exists there all the time, because the conflict is continual factor, as we say. But today, our work is mostly, come to say, 90% of our work is going to the trauma healing. Now we have groups of people, psychologist people, and sociologist people, and so on. They are working with us, and they are very great professional people to work with the trauma, because they are living there, And then we began to create groups in the north, in the middle, and in the south, to bring the families to work together, to understand, to relax the people through some educational system and some religious system, because through the conflicts or the wars, you will see the people come back to the religion directly. Most of the people, they run to protect themselves. Then we speak with them in a common language between all of these people, and also we are daily connected with these families in the cell phones and the phones, to talk, to try to help them and to find the a solution for their lives. The situation there is not so easy. The situation there is I can say it's very hard, very hard today, because the war is continuing, and the people suffering from both sides, not only from one side,
Mhm.
This is the main points in our work.
Yeah. And when you and I spoke previously, you talked about the necessity of bringing spiritually centered people into the peacemaking work, that politicians are not have not yet been effective in creating peace. And can you talk more about that, about what you see as the role of spirituality in establishing a lasting peace?
Yes, thank you. Really, it's a great question. You know what? We know sometimes, not sometimes, always, that to bring a politician to be with you, it's very hard, because they are very busy in different work. Very busy with what? It's not our work, They need to be busy to rule the countries, to rule their parties, or so on. But we say, okay, if the politicians, they are very busy, then we need to find the alternative leadership. And really, we found the educators and the religious people, the women, the youth, they are the alternative leaders, especially the educators, because they can influence the next generation. They can educate, they can teach, they can inform, they can build their strategy of the future, especially in the new world, in our new world, because our new world began to be like a small village. You can see everything, you can feel everything, you can hear everything, and you can learn and study everything. Then we found the educators, they can influence, and we say we will bring them to our term, to our work, to our way to try to fix the problem and to solve the problems between all of the people from everywhere. And then we find, high school principals from the Jewish side, from the Arab sides, as I say, Christians, Muslims, and Jews, and we brought them, the high school principals and teachers, and we began to work together. Maybe we'll find a Toyota, how to deal with these problems, our work, how to bring the people to understand one another. It's because the most important for us is to get out of yourself, to get out of yourselves. Don't prison yourself within your come to say walls. It can hurt you, but if you will get out, you will smell, you can taste, you can see, you can feel what is the life. And I'm not alone here. I'm with all of these people all around me. Then I think spirituality, it try to bring to soften all of these factor of the religious, the scientific, the other dimensions in our life, to make it softer for how to take it, how to get it. You know, you cannot get a very dry thing or very hard thing in your hands, but if it will be soft, you can catch it. And this is our come to say emotional side. This is our rational side. This is our thinking side. We need to make everything softer for how to get it. And we succeeded with many youth, with many, the women, for example, they are doing the best, you know, for to protect the society, because the woman can feel the society, her house, right? And her children, her father and mother, husband, all the society the same, and sometimes can stop all of the clash between the two nations. Then we are taking these things in a seriously for to bring the people to be a complete human being. Yeah.
Mm. And as you describe that, and you've mentioned this a couple of times now, the necessity of people getting to know one another and meeting really as human to human, and not stereotypes to stereotypes. And as I hear you describe that, Ghassan, I hear that as the move. I'll use the word transcend, although I'm not sure I am terribly fond of that word, but to transcend our belief in the separate self, the isolated self, an identity that is attached to, you know, a nationality or this group or that group, but to really, as you say, soften that boundary and open ourselves up. And I watched a video on YouTube, or I guess it was on your on the website of the Abrahamic Reunion, and there was an event that you all held 1 month to the day, actually, September 7th, 1 month before the attacks. And it was an event of, it was a musical event.
Yeah.
And you had musicians there, and people from all of these traditions, faith traditions, came together. And you talked in that video about what a beautiful encounter that was. And you talked especially about opening the heart. And I would love to hear you talk more about the opening of the heart and how that is the way forward.
Wow. Thank you. First of all, I want to tell you something. Opening the heart, it needs, first of all, connection, knowing, to know how to open, to know how to get to the path of knowing, how to know how to create the first step. Sometimes many people, they need, but they don't know how to direct, how to teach, how to take the first motivation for to create the first step toward changing, you know, and to open, to soften the heart. I want to say, listen, there is a verse in the Quran, very beautiful verse. I like that verse. Say, "All people, we created you from male and from female, and we have made you nations and tribes to know one another." Then the goal of the creation is knowledge, to know. Maybe to fight or not. To fight? No, not to fight. To know, The meaning knowing, it's to love the process of knowing, to get there, to build, to create. And from there, we can move. The second step is, you know, how to open the heart. This great factor of the life. You know, the Sufis say in the Middle Ages, they say, our thinking come from this side, not from here. The thinking in the heart. And they got it from the verse of the Quran, say, do they have hearts they can conscious or thinking through their hearts? Yes, they have. Then we need to go there. Now, we know the names of God. You know, we have the 99 names in Islam. In Judaism, 73 names. In Judaism, the same. God have names, you know, the merciful and so on. But the most important thing is to understand that the name of God is the creator, right? He created everything. And Ibn Arabi, 13th century, he is a great philosopher, Sufi philosophy. He passed away in 1238 or 1240. He say, listen, for to know and to do many things, you need to polish the mirror of the heart. Because if you will not polish the mirror of the heart, you cannot active your inner seeing eyes, and you cannot realize your essence as a human being. Then you need to polish the mirror of the heart and to prepare your heart as a house of God. And he say, oh, human being, you are the house of God. Your heart, the house of God. If you put God, include God within your heart, the creator, you must include all of his creation with him.
Beautiful. All are included in the heart.
Yeah.
So say more about how do we polish the mirror of the heart?
Okay. First of all, there is a oral tradition. It's belong to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He say, God say, nothing can include me, no earth, nor divine. Only one thing can include me, the heart of my believer. He didn't say the heart of the Muslim, the heart of the Christian, the heart of the Jewish, the heart of the Druze, Buddhist. He said the heart of the believer. Now, how to open the heart? It's very simple. Once I'll tell you a small story about that. Once I wanted to go to visit my guru, my sheikh in Jerusalem. He is our grand sheikh, Sufi sheikh, and he is so great, knowledgeable, and humble, and wow. You know, I was about 17 years old, 18 years old, and we came through Jericho, the way of Jericho. We arrived and we wanted to get up to Jerusalem, to drive up to Jerusalem. There were a barrier there. That man, that soldier, they stopped us. You know, I came. I say, they stopped us 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, and it was very hot in Jericho, the lowest point in the world. And it's very hot, you know. It's a beautiful city, but hot weather. At that time, we didn't have a AC at the car, you know. And I got out. I say, listen, why are you stopping us? We are Israelis. We have Israeli ID. We are Arabs, but we have Israeli ID. He say, stay there. I say, where's your commander? I will not go back. You can shoot me. And I shouted. The commander came. I say hello. He say hello. I say, why? For what? We are waiting here. He say, why are you asking? I say, because we have a meeting in Jerusalem. He say, with whom? I say, with my sheikh, with my great teacher. What is your teacher? I explained to him. He say, okay. He called the soldier, take your IDs and go. We went. I was very mad at that time. I entered to the place there. We called Dergay, Zawi. I remember the sheikh looked at me and he said, go to make ablution, to wash your face. And so I came back and said, why are you mad? I said, no, sheikh, I'm not mad. They say, don't lie. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sheikh. And he say, pray. I prayed 2 rakas. And he said to me, come on, why are you mad? I say, I told him what happened to us. He didn't say anything. He said, we'll pray together. Come on. And he began to pray. You know the first chapter in the Quran, the Fatiha. We say, in the name of God, the most merciful and the most merciful, the God of all of the human being. What he say? He prayed the God of the Muslims. It's not true. And I say, we cannot talk. Second time, I say, third time, I say, in a voice. And they say, oh, the God of all of the human. And he continued. When he finished, he turned to us. He said, did I make a mistake? No one answered. I said, Ghassan, I heard your voice. Did I make a mistake? I said, I don't know. But I know you are a great scholar, but you say, instead to say the God of all of the human being, everything, you say the God of the Muslims. He said, I'm sorry. Ghassan, tell this to yourself. Why are you mad? That soldier, he did his work. You must not be mad from any person on this world for some act that he did. I say, okay. He say, how many times did you stay there? I say, about 45 minutes. He say, instead to waste your time, you could create new friend.
Oh.
What? He say, yes, Ghassan. This soldier, he is a human being. You don't know who is this. Maybe in the home, you can meet him in the coffee or in some place, and you will talk, you will be friends. Next time, if they will stop you, try to create a friends. And I promised him, next time, if they will stop me, I will create friends. Since that time, no one stopped me. And what what I want to say from this story, the Sheikh taught me to throw out of my ego.
Yes.
To be naked as I was born with all of these people. And he told me at that time, Ghassan, you are this soldier in a different face, different color, different language, different nationality, different. But if you'll open your essence, your inner side, you'll see the same as him. Look at the inner of anyone all around the world, not at the external shape or the external character. If you look at the external character, you will lose yourself. Be on the middle. Then you can be a very great person.
Wow, what a powerful teaching. And I can feel how that really was transformative for you. It sounds like that was a milestone in your life and your approach to other people and to yourself, and I can see how that you would be carrying that forward now in the work that you're doing. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Ghassan, for telling that story. That's going to stay with me, truly. So we from it seems as though, the situation in Israel Palestine is so complex and goes back for so long. And as we've already discussed, there's trauma on every side of this that keeps getting reactivated and passed on and on and on. And it almost from this ordinary vantage point, it looks unsolvable. I would love to hear you take us deeper beneath the, the apparent situation to something deeper. And what do you see as the latent opportunities there? And maybe it's related to the opening of the heart, but what do you see? I think we can all name the challenges to peace. What do you see as the opportunities?
It's a very deep question, and all of us, we try to answer this question together. when I'm speaking with my friends in Israel and Palestine and different places, because I'm in connection with both sides. As a peacemaker, as a facilitator, as a human being, I need to be part of each person. First of all, I want to say, listen, it's not a political war. It's not a religious war. It's not a social war. It's kind of a very, very strange war that we cannot understand what is there, what is beyond. Because I want to say something. When you listen to the politicians, they talk in this level, but they mean down level, other level, other side. What is there? We don't know. Why this war began? We don't know. It didn't begin in the 7th. It's long ago.
Yeah.
Long ago. Since the initiation of the state of Israel. And I cannot blame Israel or blame the others. No, I don't blame anyone. As a Sufi, I cannot blame anyone. But I want to say something. Why the 7th of October happened? This is the most important question. Why? Why they did that? Is that before that Israel will attack, prepare something? Or Hamas, as a radical group, they attack for fun? We don't know. We don't know. Is this true? But the question is, what before? What was before? Where is us as a human being? We know that the leaders, they work or they play the game of the international game, not only the local game in Israel between the Israelis and the Palestinians. What is there? Is there some achievement for a future process? Is it's try to find wars only for wars? Or I need to, they speak about to refuge the people, to evacuate the people. They speak about second day. No, we will not evacuate. We will keep them here. And let us understand. We cannot understand. But it's this war between the people of Gaza and Israel. It's make a very big gap all around the world, especially between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Go to Palestine. In West Bank, all of the people full of fear. The Arabs inside Israel full of fear. The Jewish inside Israel full of fear. The Druze full of fear. The Muslims full of fear. Christians full of fear. All of these people full of fear. And unfortunately, I want to say something. Instead to help to stop the war, many countries feeding the war. Mm-hmm. This is break this side of our bodies. We understand there's misunderstanding. Most of the wars along the history, it's misunderstanding. Block the connection, block the knowing. There's no knowledge. There's no connection. There's no peace in their side life. By the way, in Israel, we don't know if the people, they are so happy with their leaders. We don't know. We don't know. The same thing in Gaza. We don't know. But what we need to know, instead to revenge more and more and more and more, we need to stop all of these war. I want to say something. In 80s and 81, if you remember, the peace treaty between Israel and Egypt, it came suddenly. The people thought after the war, 73, and Egypt got all of the land, and at that time there were a process of bringing Syria for a peace treaty and Jordan for a peace treaty, and they will take their lands like Golan Heights and West Bank and so on. But suddenly we had the peace with Egypt, right? It's happened because Sadat stopped and he say, if Israel will invite me, I will come. Israel got it quickly. Begin went to his government. He said, listen, Egypt want to make a peace with us. 73, Israel lose the war against Egypt and so on. Then they create the peace treaty. In my opinion, the peace is here, waiting all the time, waiting for all of us to clean the heart, to open the heart eyes, and to active the heart feelings, and to begin to know and to do the best for peace. I want to tell you something. I'm working from here and with many families in Israel and Palestine. 95% of that families in trauma, they say to me, we need peace, please create peace. The Palestinians, we need peace. Israelis, we need peace. I say, we are working. And now we are connecting our friends that they can influence the politicians. And we speak with all of the leaders, the clergy, and many people to create peace between the two nations again. Because if it will take more time, I think it will take us away and take all of the people away, and it will dry all of their faith and all of their spiritual path to come back to create peace again.
I love the way you say that the peace is already there, and it can break in by surprise, and that it starts here. It starts here. And I was coming back again to that musical event that you all had. There's a way in which I think in order to encounter the other and get to know them, especially, in a polarized situation, it requires that we step into our fear, that we not let our fear control us, but we step into our fear and do the thing that we're so afraid to do, which is to get to know this other person as a kindred spirit, as a fellow human being. And I'm wondering, do you have any sense of, I mean, of course, every person is different, but do you have any sense of how much willingness there is for people to step into that fear and actually get to know one another?
Yes. At that event that we did, you mean the event that it was in Tel Aviv?
Yes, it was in Tel Aviv in September. Mm-hmm.
Yes, in September, in Neve Shechter synagogue. I spoke with the Rabbi Roberto Arbiv. He is a conservative, and we came to be together. Before I will talk about that event, I will say that we studied in Sufism the origin of you as a human being, the origin of all of your feelings, all of your values. It's peace, it's harmony, love, joy, a connection. And the strange things, it's the fear, the war, hatred, and all of these things hide beyond a very, very, very thin veil. But they move all the time for not to allow you to see them. The love and the harmony, it's with you, it's you. The fear, if you say, come on, quickly they will come to you. Then you need to be a very wise person. Don't invite anything of that things. Don't invite. How? Love all of the people. Love your neighbors as yourself, as Jesus said to us, right? And create peace. Walk to knock the doors. I know. I did it. 8 people throw me out. I catch 2 people from the 10. It's enough for me in one day to catch 2 people to be peacemakers. At that event, I want to share with you that we I and my son Abed, he is the director of Abrahamic Reunion in the Holy Land. We began to invite the people to come to be part of us, with us, and with Anat Lev, or she is the head of the co-head of the Abrahamic Reunion in Israel, the Amuta, the organization. She say, Ghassan, Abid say, Father, and we need to invite people from everywhere. I say, yeah, come on. And Abid and we invited the people of Jerusalem, East Jerusalem. It's not easy to invite the Muslims from Jerusalem to be in this conference. And we got 55 people from East Jerusalem.
To Tel Aviv.
Yes,
Oh.
Not easy. We invited the people from Tel Aviv, from Haifa, from Jerusalem also. We invited the Druze and Muslims from the north, Jewish, Christians came from Nazareth, from Jerusalem, from everywhere. And Druze, we had about 180 people or 200 people. I don't know. I don't remember, because we did many events there. Now, when they enter, many people was walking, passing on the street. I was welcome the people. I remember that a family of Jewish couple with their children, they stopped. I saw them from other side of the street. They saw the people come and checking out to me, Jewish with kippah, women with a scarf, and Druze with a scarf, or women and men with a Muslim hat or Christian, a hat, and so they stop. And I look at that family, I say, welcome, come on. They came slowly, shy people say, what is here? I say, this is the time of Abraham, our father. They say, what? I say, Abraham, he's here, invited all of us to come to sit with him. He need to meet us. They look at me, is this person crazy or not? They say to themselves. I say, the voice of Abraham will be with the instruments when we play guitar and oud, when we'll sing together. And they laughed, they understood me. They say, can we join? I say yes. And I remember the men begin to walk, the women stand. Tears in her eyes. She's a Jew. She looked at me and she say, who are you with this turban? I say, I'm a sheikh. She say, sheikh in the synagogue? I say, yes. It's the house of God. It's mine also. The church, it's mine. The mosque is mine. Every faith place is mine. I belong to all of these. And the Torah is my book. The New Testament is my book. The Quran is my book. All of these books. She began to walk and she hugged me. And she said, please, we need like you a lot. I say, lots you can see today. And they enter. And many other people, they came to that event. Many people. We had, I say, the people that we invited, about 200, but we had about 300 people, They came. In the end of the night, when we finished, and I don't know if you remember, you saw all of the event. What I say in the event, I say, listen, the fear try to come to us. If we will not take care quickly, we will be in a serious problem. I say that in September. In October 7th, we had the problem. I say to them, look at these colors together. I have rainbow here from all of the religions, from all of the people, from everywhere. I smell your fragrance, all of you. You are the roses here. I need you to be with me and I'll be with you. Come, as Rumi say, come. After 1,000 times you run, you make sense, you commit sense. Come. We are here. We opened the gate. Come on, we love you. And the people came. And I say, protect one another. Protect the human being between you. Don't protect the politicians through yourselves. Protect the human being. It's very important for us.
You have polished the mirror of my heart. I want you to know that. And I'm guessing for everyone who's listening. And Ghassan, I want to allow plenty of time for people who might have questions. Before I disappear here and turn off my video, let us know how can we support what you are doing?
The most important thing, first of all, to pray for all of us. And know when you'll pray for me, this prayer will come to you. When I pray for you, it's come to you and come back to me. Pray one for another. This is first important thing. Second thing, you can donate. All the people can donate to abrahamicreunion.org. Abrahamic Reunion, our organization, it's international organization. As you say, I'm the international director. I'm visiting everywhere to do and to get support to heal the trauma in the Holy Land, because we are working hardly and daily in day and nights. We are work to bring the people to calm, to be down a little bit, and then we can create again the process of peace. And thank you for this question.
Beautiful. Thank you. It's really been my pleasure and my privilege to speak with you today, Ghassan. Thank you again for being with us. And I'd like to invite Joe to come back on to lead our Q&A. If people have a question, they can raise their hand, as he said before, or if you don't want to show on screen, you can type it into the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia and Ghassan, for that enlightening and timely conversation. As Patricia said, I feel moved that the mirror of my heart has been polished a bit, and I love that metaphor, and we're so grateful. So now we're going to have a little time for Q&A, and if you want to click raise your hand, we'll see if we can bring you on. You can identify yourself, where you're from. I notice we have people from all over the world here today. Keep your question, if you would, within a couple of minutes, so we've got time for others, and we'll bring you on. So looking at the screen, I see we have a question from Virginia, and we will ask you if you will click on the button that says join as a panelist and start your video. We'll bring you on, Virginia, and let you ask a question. So click the button that says join as a panelist, and we'll bring you on. Okay, are you seeing that? We've got you on the screen, but no picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, give us a second. Sometimes these take a little bit of time.
Okay.
Well, we'll come back to Virginia in a minute if that's not connecting. So let's try going to Cliff Cutler. That's a name you know, Ghassan. Cliff, we will see if we can bring you on if you click promote as panelist. And you're pretty familiar with our system, so unmute yourself and we'll bring you on for now.
It's good to see you, Ghassan. I've known Ghassan, golly, since he was a Fulbright scholar in 2008. And what I wanted to ask and say is tomorrow in the United States, we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King. And I remember when he was in Birmingham, he was arrested and put in jail and accused of being an extremist. And there were lots of extremists in the South, just like there's lots of extremists in the Middle East. But he said, yes, you can call me an extremist, but like Jesus, I'm an extremist for love. And he said we need more creative extremists, not destructive extremists, but creative ones. Um, is he a model for, I mean, he's so familiar to us in the United States. Is he a model for people in the Middle East? And what might it mean to you to be an extremist for love?
First of all, thank you, holy man. He say that, you know, I know Cliff also since that time. And since that time, I feel that I have a very great teacher and friend. Yes, he is a model. He is a great teacher. He is a great, we can see a peaceful and mark for all of us as Martin Luther King. You know, we repeated all the time, I have a dream, all the time. You know, when we go to talk, I have a dream. The meaning of I have a dream is we try in Sufism to say we don't know if our life, as the Chinese philosophers say, we living the dream, or we are in dream. In the dream, we are dreaming that we are alive. We don't know what is that, but I want to say that if that beautiful dream is preparing to come and to help us, I think it will be great to leave that. Martin Luther King created a lot of motivations in our lives there to continue and to work. And we said the most generous giving is to give your life. And Martin Luther gave his life, but he gave the body. Don't think that he left us. He's still with us because he's still alive within each one of us. And we feel him, we see him, we touch him, we listen to him, you know. I think it's great to connect all of the peacemakers all around the world together, from the east, from west, south, north, to push the wheel of connecting and knowing and peace creating together in this world. I hope I met him, but you know, I studied all of his speeches, all of his writings, and so on. And I like Desmond Tutu, Father Desmond Tutu in South Africa, and all of these great people. They are our ideals, you know. As a Sufis, they are our revelations in our life. Right.
Thank you, Cliff. That's a very relevant question. I see we have a question from Janet. Janet, if you would click join as a panelist and unmute yourself, and we'd love to hear your question.
So I have to apologize if I'm asking something that you covered. The wind knocked out my Wi-Fi, so I missed about 10 minutes. I certainly have experienced and have a sense that we are all connected, and that distance does not have to be an impediment to inner healing and the power of love. But it seems to me one of the challenges for many of us at this time is feeling powerless. And I guess my hope is that as more and more of us polish the mirror of our hearts, as more and more of us step out of the fear and go through our lives with our hearts as open as we can manage, is it your sense that that will ripple through, that that is a contribution we can make to the peace that is already there coming into view?
Okay. Thank you so much, dear Janet. I want to say, listen, it's, I agree with you. I agree with you. First of all, you need to be update all the time, how to be in connection, how to do that. It's very, very, very simple, very, very, come to say, clear and clean. You know, just as we say, polish the mirror of the heart. How to polish the mirror of the heart? When you'll wake up every morning, send smile. Smile, you know? Send a smile. So many people say, to whom? I say, never mind, send it. Someone passing will catch it. Not one, thousands. Now, because we are, as a human being, we can see one another through our shape, through our bodies, through our things. But if we'll polish them, slowly, slowly begin to polish, all of us, we can begin to feel ourselves beyond our physical side, and we can be together. This is first important thing. Second thing, praying. And when you'll begin to pray, don't say I pray for the for A, B, C. Say I pray for all of these people need the prayer, and all of these people don't need this prayer, because you send blessings to them, right? This is second thing. Third thing, connect to any organization, work for a peace, create peace, knowing, connection, understanding one another. It's very important. We need to do that. As the people ask me, oh, how can we find these people? I say, prepare your intention. These people will come to you. You will see, you'll feel it. But the most important thing also, don't leave these people work in this field alone. Help them, donate, give, love, hug. This is yes.
That's a great question, Janet. Thank you so much. And remember, if you have a question, to raise your hand and we will bring you on. I do have a couple of questions in the Q&A, and Virginia, whom we couldn't get on in the video, had asked, she said she really appreciates your work and all that you're doing, and wondered if you have or have had any connection with the Abraham Foundation, founded years ago by Alan Slifka.
Yes, first of all, I want to say that we are in connection with many people. Sometimes we can do some activities together, sometimes no. But yes, I know Abraham organization and so on. And we initiated also 25 years ago the path of Abraham, and so on. All of us, we are part of Abraham. I want to say something. It's very important to come back to Abraham, because one day, and in short, I don't know how, Joe, how many time do we have?
As much as we need, so keep going.
Okay. Yes. Oh, thank you. I want to say that one day, one of my friends, he is a great journalist. He say, I want to invite Sheikh Ghassan to a very Jewish episodes, the very Jewish show, TV show, Mikablim Shabbat, the welcoming Sabbath. And I was sitting in my office. I received a call. Hello. I say, hello. Shalom, Rabbi Ghassan. This is Dov Ilboim. I say, Shalom, Sheikh Dov. He's a rabbi, Jewish. I'm a sheikh. He say, because you are the rabbi of the Muslims, I would like to invite you to Mikablim Shabbat, welcoming Sabbath. This episode will be about the life of Sarah. I say, okay. Are you agree? I say, yes. So, I surprised. You agree for everything? I said, yes, sure. Anything lead me to the peace, I will come. I came. He began to be so nice with me, as you know, as a sheikh and so on. Suddenly he asked me, who is the sacrifice? I say, it's a rhetoric question or knowledgeable question. What do you need? He say, as you like. I say, okay, listen to me. If you try to create a gap between us and Muslims and Jews and Christians, you will not succeed. He said, how? I said, listen, I'm not sure who is the sacrifice. If it's Isaac, it's my uncle. If it's Ishmael, it's my father. It's still in my family. Okay? This is first thing. Second thing, I want to tell you something. This is one of the questions that, or the tests that God wanted to taste the heart of Abraham. Abraham succeeded thousands of years before. Until now, we are not. Come to succeed and to stop to ask these questions. The most important thing, yes, I know all of these people, and we will continue to work together. And inshallah, we will, with Slavka and with other people, because all of us, our direction is the same direction toward peace, to bring the people to be together. Yeah.
That's wonderful. We have a question from Michael, and I wondered if, Michael, if you'd like to come on and ask your question by clicking join as a panelist. And when you do, turn on your video and unmute. And
there I am.
question.
Hi, I'm McKaylee, and I really am in
Sorry.
and sermon. I wanted to ask about Sufism and the poet Rumi and the dancing, and how it is a prayer. And do you establish this in your own life, the dancing, the I don't know if I correct spelling, or dervish, or maybe you can pronounce that correctly for me, and
Dervish.
talk a little about the dancing and the prayer. And I've always loved Rumi. I have his books, and he's the what from 800 years ago, and I just love the dancing. I mean, I look on YouTube sometimes, and I'll dance in my kitchen when nobody's looking at me. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, McKaylee.
Thank you, Kel. I want to say that, yes, first of all, Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi, he is the heart of the whirling dervish. He's the whirling dervish. You know, dancing, that dance, sure, I part of that. Even that I belong to another order of Sufism. I'm Qadiri, and it's not Mavlavi, but all of us, we are the same, and we have the same roots and the same roof. And what I wanted to say, that I'm using the dancing with my friends, the Mevlavis. 3 weeks ago, I came back from Turkey. I was there, and I met my friends, the Verling Dervish, and we danced together, and we read the poems of the great poet Rumi in Istanbul. Right.
That is wonderful. Well, I want to respect your time, Ghassan. You've been so gracious with it, and this has been such a blessing and so timely. I think many of us reflect on one of the questions we had in the Q&A was simply, you know, what could those of us who are neither Jewish nor Muslim and live in the United States do to support the work of peace? And you've answered that, you know, in multiple ways. You know, not only prayer, not only being a peacemaker in whatever way we could, but even donating, supporting as we're able. And I think many of us feel so deeply for this. So we're so grateful that you're here to not only share that news and to bring a sense of hope that there is work going on. So I want to thank you. I'll invite Patricia to come back, and we want to thank her for her wonderful questioning. And while she's doing that, is there anything in your immediate future, Ghassan, that you're working on as far as projects or new things coming up?
Yes, we have lots of, because we prepared, we begin to prepare our projects in the second part of the year. We prepared to continue with the women project, with the youth project, with the educators, with the clergy, and we say this time we will enter to the elementary schools with the teachers and so on. But we had the surprise of the October the 7th. Then we changed the projects. We are making lots of, we putting lots of effort to create a trauma healing now, because no one will understand the other projects. They will stand now. They need us to be with them, a warm, hands and warm heart, warm process to bring them back to their lives.
Right.
This is now, yeah.
That's wonderful. And at the same time, would you say the best way folks can keep in touch with the work you're doing, is that through the Abrahamic Reunion website, or where would that be?
Yes, Abrahamic Reunion website. You can enter there, and because we have many work here, when you try to go to see and to do everything and so on, you want to put comments, or especially anyone want to donate, to put there, we are donation to the work of Ghassan Manasra, because it will go directly to the Holy Land. Okay.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That is great. Well, it's been so wonderful to have you, and we want to thank you and thank Patricia again. As I mentioned, if you want to learn more about Patricia's work, her website is simply Patricia Pearce, spelled PEARCE.com. And lastly, you remember to check out the website of contemporarymysticism.org, where you'll find lots of resources. So it's been a wonderful time, just a joy to have you with us and all of Patricia's great questions. So we'll say thank you for being with us, and until we meet again, stay safe, be well, and remember, you are perfect just exactly as you are. Namaste.
Namaste.
See you again. Bye-bye.